we got a special guest, Carl, live around the corner, and he know it, but shout out to him. And then we got a special guest of the day, my guy Mars. What's going on, buddy?
What's good, guy? How you doing?
I'm all right, man. For everybody that is looking like, yo, Sean, you missing
Two niggas. I am. Shout out to B with the good credit, who's keeping her credit good with a new job. And my guy Else, who had to hold down some family shit. So you know how that go. With that said, we still gonna have a good time and, you know, find out some more about our guest and everything he got cooking up, what's going on in his mind and all that. But before we hop into that, we was having a nice little spirited conversation on Jeezy versus Gucci.
Yes.
And I had to admit to my guy Carl that in my young, naive years of, what was I, like 17, that I would have picked Jeezy over Gucci. With that said, from age 20 to now where I am 26, Gucci is my nigga. And I am so sorry for picking Jeezy over him.
I think that you being 17 is reasonable. You 17, you 26. I would have been 19 then. But, damn, so you didn't make it to Mizzou yet. You were still in Chicago.
I was still in Chicago when this happened.
That's another big thing because, like, the divide between, like, Gucci fandom in Chicago versus St. Louis is different.
Yeah.
Or, like, because St. Louis, Mizzou, all of that, that's just south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Exactly.
And you went to Mizzou, so you know the culture is very much so
It's very much different.
Gucci been way harder, but that's you can get a pass.
Up here, it was all about
pass,
Trap or Die. It was all about TM 101. But as soon as I got down there, I witnessed the power of photo shoot, and to this very day, I have to put the movie as maybe my favorite mixtape. If not, it's top 3.
Really, the movie for you?
The movie.
So for me, that was around the first two for Jeezy. Yeah, I'm wrapped in. Then the third one, like, bam, Gucci made the movie. That was something, but, like, Trap House was a thing, too, man. But you probably weren't into it.
No,
like,
I went back afterwards.
Yeah. Because, like, that shit was important, bro.
But the movie hit me because, like, feeling myself, photo shoot.
That's a classic.
What else was on that shit? I can't think of it right now. But I
can't.
What was the shit he
top of the
mumbled
dome,
on?
but because he was putting out mixtapes like Bass God and Wayne at that point
every
too.
day.
But around that same era was like also when he had Nicki Minaj up under his arm.
Exactly.
It was a darker Gucci Mane that like had already been to jail, and he was like post Jeezy beef Gucci Mane too. Because like for me personally, one of my all time favorite records, Big Broke Records by Gucci Mane.
Right.
I love that song, bro. So that same summer of what you talking about, when you was 17, I was 19. The famous Gucci Mane freestyle. If you just type in Gucci Mane freestyle, shirtless, red, used to walk around the corner.
Terrible ass camera quality.
Yeah. That was
OJ in the cut.
Also, like, that was when Gucci went from me just being a fan because he had hits and like he was hard. Like Jeezy was like already mainstream, popular. You know, he got the platinum records, big hits, all this shit. But, like, Gucci was very raw, very, like, still street. Like, what was the DVDs back? Like, not the Smack DVDs. It was a Southern one, though, that was, like, just
Southern
like...
Smoke?
No,
what was the Southern shit?
No. Some other shit, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you can look it up. But, like, that whole era was very raw. And I remember in that video, it was, like, I think maybe Mike Will made it was in the background, but I know Waka was in the background. He did the part 2 joint with OJ the Juice Man. Like, that Brick Squad, that was Brick Squad Mafia.
That was real Brick Squad.
Yeah, like, that was before the 1017 Brick Squad Mafia type shit.
We talking like, Woo the Kid.
Yeah. It was very, very, very raw and gutter. And, like, that was always something for me that, like, I was drawn to. Gucci Mane with the criminal record, you knew his name was Roderick Davis.
Yeah.
Like, I still to this day don't know Jeezy real name, but I know Gucci only because
it's like Jay Jenkins.
Yeah, it's some shit like that. But like, I only know Jeezy because like a motherfucker would tell me. But like Gucci, I knew because like Roderick Davis was versus the state up in shit, bro. So like, I don't know. This nigga was like, for me, he was like an idol. I remember, goddamn me, either 19 or 20, either the summer of what you talking about, we was like 17, 19, or the following year. Nope, it was the year before. Bricks was still working on the underground circuit.
All right.
Me and some of my best friends from home or whatever, we was at a club on the east side. I forget the exact club.
Is it the club that Bernice was at this weekend? Yo, shout out to East St. Louis. I have some good ratchet times in East St. Louis.
Fuck around, it might be.
Hold on, I'm gonna look up the name of it.
It had like some pits, like it was like a pit level lower down, and then like the stairs like went down, and everybody was like around it or whatever.
Okay.
Bro, when the beat dropped on bricks, I literally witnessed a woman get fucking hit in the fucking forehead with a high heel, bro. And an all-out riot broke out. It was the most raw shit, like bricks when that first like real bass.
That's crazy.
All white bricks, nigga. 20, 30 bitches just having a melee. Security had to come from the front to let niggas in. They had to close the door. They walked around. Bro, they was knocking out the ladies in the club, bro. But it was that violent. Like, it was almost like a mini riot up in that bitch. They really was knocking chicks out and, like, dragging them out the club, bro. It was bad. It was bad. So, like, that level of just, like, rawness and energy was like, wow. This nigga Jeezy is, like, a dirty-ass street nigga for real.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm proud of him for like how far he's come as well.
That's fair. That's fair. You know, he got Keisha K.O. and shit and everything.
Yeah. I mean, they got like the ultimate like ghetto love situation for me. Like, did you see the clip of him over in Iceland? Like,
in the pool, confused and shit. Like, he couldn't believe it.
Awesome, bro. Man, god damn. And then at the end, he was like, I gotta watch my back door. A polar bear might be coming up on me. I'm so happy for him, G, because I mean, you know, he went to jail for fuck shit when he was younger. Then the whole murder situation with Jeezy trying to set him up.
Did you read that shit in his book? Have you read Gucci's
I did not check out his book yet.
Yo, his book is the shit.
Book. It's really that good, huh?
It's great. It gives highlights to everything.
What did he say about that situation? Did he talk about the murder, the assassination attempt?
Yeah. So what he basically, that's basically what he says. He admits, he literally admits to killing Buddy and all that. It even gets to the point to where he even discusses where Jeezy walks up to him after all the shit happened.
Whoa.
So after everything went down, I guess some of Jeezy's young niggas was talking out the side of their neck, and then it was involving some of Gucci's young niggas, and Gucci's young niggas was going to kill him. And Jeezy walked up to him, I think outside of Houston's at Lenox Mall.
Okay.
And was like, yo, let's squash this, like, this and this. And Gucci said he kind of looked at him like he didn't respect him. Like, you tried to set me up to go down. Like, and it really made me look at Jeezy a different way. And not in the sense of, like, losing fandom, but, like, I was already, at that point, I was already like, all right, I prefer Gucci over Jeezy. Right. But then you look at it like, yo, that kind of goes against everything that you said, you know?
Yeah, all right. So, damn, that kind of, like, taps into a bigger narrative, I feel like, within the rap game. And the rap game with black culture, especially African-American culture, like, music is, like, our main sense of, like, creative output to express ourselves. There is a code, bro. Like, there is a moral code when it comes to, like, some of this street shit.
Exactly.
And that's like what would be considered not real, quote unquote real. Bro, this is like some House of Cards, Game of Thrones type shit. You can't be sitting up here trying to kill a nigga and then walking up into his face like, damn, bro, like, whop the bam. Like, after you cross that line in the dirt, that line is drawn. I remember them interviews when they would be asking him about Jeezy, like, he's just so fuck nigga, he just pussy. Like, that's all he had to say. But that's literally how viciously Gucci Mane felt about that nigga Jeezy at that point, bro.
Even
like,
to the point where him dissing Jeezy end up dissing Hove. Because Hove was the nigga to put Jeezy on.
Yeah. It really got deep for a while, bro. But honestly, like, what say you about that? I'm not here for, like, killing motherfuckers. Like, I'll say that. Granted, you know, if you in that life, my nigga, like, you making certain other decisions that a nigga that, like myself, that's not in that life is doing. But where do you stand on, like, a moral code when it comes to this street shit? Because, like, niggas get killed. Like, families get brought into shit if you not playing the game the way it's supposed to be playing. Like, it's a lot of shit that can happen. It's niggas back in St. Louis, I heard a crazy ass story. Some niggas trying to rob a nigga. They kicked in his door, hog-tied his baby mama and his mama up, then came down to the motherfucking basement, found that nigga, robbed him, and killed him.
Niggas don't play about their money, man.
Yeah, man. Like,
that's real shit.
That shit is real. But I mean, even all right, not even when it comes to the money, because, yeah, niggas do be down over that. What about, say, a shorty? Like, are you the type that's like, you know, I keep my hands off my homie girl, or is it like, regardless? Because, you know, niggas would be like, it's cool, whatever. Me personally, I'm kind of like, my nigga hit it, so, like, that appeal and allure, like, goes away. But I'm not I'm like a special breed. A lot of niggas will fuck.
So I'm like that with too. This is about to get real funny. 95% of the time, if you hit me like, if my guy hit it, this gonna sound awkward, but I feel like I did too, cause he gonna tell me about it.
No, you know, on some Eskimo bro type shit. Like, yeah.
With that said, unnamingly, when me and Carl were walking in here today, I told him one of his old flames threw me the box.
Oh.
And I didn't take it. Right, like, and I kind of was like, nah.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
And it wasn't even like on nothing, like it just kind of felt weird. Like,
yeah, bro. I've accidentally done that. I don't know if I was before or after, but you know, like niggas don't know. I also am not the type of guy that like tell my homies like whenever I get a new piece, or you know, like I try to keep motherfuckers' personal business personal for the most part. If you live with me, you probably see more, but like I don't really be going around talking like, oh yeah, I hit shorty, boy, up the bam. But like I've accidentally done that, and I already felt kind of crappy. But for me, it's like, you know, like my man said, I don't really for the team, I don't really know if I really want to do that. But then also like it is just kind of awkward. Like, what if I ended up liking you? And like, damn, now I gotta go around. It's like, damn, my man's used to paint your face.
Right.
And it's like, I love you. That's a hell of a. You know, it is fucked up. Like, I'm not knocking ladies on no like sexual shit. None of that. It's just a personal matter of principle for me. I would just rather stay with. Y'all know what painting that face is, nigga. People be freaky out here. Shit.
With that said, we're gonna hop back into some other shit. We was talking about the Gucci shit. You from St. Louis, man.
True.
What has St. Louis done for you, and how did it help mold you?
Ooh. Damn. So, no, I mean, shit. Well, to a degree, T is kind of real about that.
Jake?
St. Louis, in many ways, has informed me. So, I am very adamant and persistent about being a quote-unquote nigga. I always like to remind motherfuckers, like, I'm a smart nigga. I was like raised well, so I'm not an ignorant nigga.
Educated
like
nigga.
That. But yeah, I'm a nigga, like a nigga. And that definitely comes from being in St. Louis. Like, it's sometimes hard dating girls in big cosmopolitan Chicago because I'm just that much more country or that much more, you know, Southern about the way that I approach life, my sensibilities. And I consider myself a liberal. So, like, I'm here for progressive shit, all of that. But it's just like at the end of the day, not everything that's on Twitter is 100% correct.
Right.
Like, it's definitely rights and wrongs to all this shit. And, like, I think sometimes a little bit of that old school country nigga, you come out with that, or the way I ain't gonna let no motherfucker talk to me, or just my accent and some of the shit I say that I gotta go back and double back, or end up speaking very properly about.
Like if you tell a nigga you joning
yeah,
on.
like that. All right, so that's one layer of it. Like, that is who I am. Like, I am a black person, like nigga. Then on top of that, when it comes to like personality, arts, culture, all of that, I think so much of my interests is about where I come from and what I grew up around. Like, me as a DJ, that's informed by me growing up on 3-6 Mafia and like real Southern shit. Like, I talk to people in Chicago, they talk about a Jeezy being like one of their favorite artists versus a Gucci Mane, or Boosie and Yo Gotti are like gods around St. Louis.
Yo Gotti might as well be from St. Louis.
Basically, yeah. So it's like my whole perspective is different. Like, it wasn't a lot of Biggie and Pac on the radio. Like, you'll get some Pac, you know, and Biggie tributes and shit like that, but like, you know how St. Louis motherfuckers dance. Like, that be the shit that we listen to.
Right.
All of that. Like, and everybody knows me from going out and knowing people and shit like that. St. Louis nightlife, St. Louis club culture informed, like, how unshy I am when I'm having a good time and just going out there and being a dancing ass St. Louis nigga. So many different ways. Like, I am still a St. Louisan even though I'm up here.
Mm-hmm.
And I maintain that. Like, I'm not one of the niggas that, like, didn't grow up in the city and kind of forgot where they came from or like meshed in somewhere. Like, I'm very much so a North Side St. Louis type nigga.
Right. So what brought you to Chicago?
Art school.
Okay.
I went to Columbia for a little while. Didn't graduate like most art school kids, so shout out to those still surviving and not killing themselves because they went to art school. But yeah, like that's what brought me up. And then also, like, I'm still a product of like the internet and shit like that, because growing up in the city, it was times that like it probably wasn't smart for me to go outside, or when I would go outside and explore the things because I'm a smart nigga that I would discover and try to branch out around the city and see that those weren't there. I was drawn to coming to a place like Chicago. I got accepted into NYU and FIT, but I could not afford to go there. So art school in Chicago was like my second best bet.
Right.
Yeah. So
do you think it's good you end up in New York?
Yes and no. Now that I'm like getting closer to 30 and shit like that, I'm starting to like look back over my whole 20s. Like Ryan's a person I've known like 10, 15 years now type shit. And it's like a lot of people, like how you were saying, you know, a lot of motherfuckers from Mizzou. Like I knew a lot of them motherfuckers from high school because I didn't go to Mizzou or whatever. Like it's been a lot of impact and shit like that I've had on other people's lives. I think things that I'm capable of doing, I probably could have been a little more successful or reached those goals a little faster in New York. But at the same time, like my name, my story, all of that comes through Chicago.
Right,
and I think that's very, very, very much so important. I love this city for everything that it's worth. I really do love Chicago. And I want to make an impact here and back at home before I branch out to anything else.
That was my next thing. Do you feel like it's hard to bring that bridge of who you are in Chicago back to St. Louis?
I would say, I would say that I was shy before I had a DJ gig. My boy Udoka, you know Udoka?
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so I DJ'd his birthday party earlier this year. And, like, I know I told them about it, all that. Like, I was shy and nervous. Well, I wasn't shy about it, but I was definitely nervous because I used to go to St. Louis more often when I was younger and I had first moved away. But I'm almost 10 years in the game up here. Like, I live in Chicago now type shit. So I'm still aware of what happens on the ground, but I know. And I'm just very much so myself that I wasn't going to let my city fold me. Right. Then I went down there and DJ'd and killed it.
Yeah.
So it's like, at this point, no. I think, like, I'm still on par. Like, I'm still very much so St. Louis and did not forget where I come from. But then even in St. Louis, it's a lot of influence that I've had on other people that are still at home creating and making dope shit and contributing to the culture down there. That had a lot to do with, like, me being an inspiration to look up to or somebody that could really get up under your skin and, like, inspire you to do some shit. So
we're going to hop right back in there. What you say, Jake?
Would you consider yourself a Chicagoan now?
Yeah, would you say you're Chicago?
I mean, I'm, like, you know,
you could be both.
Like, yeah. Like, I'm a St. Louis and Chicago, and like, I'm definite. Like, I don't know if I ain't gonna never be nothing other than St. Louis in my heart, because that's like where I spent my formative years.
Right.
But like, no, I'm definitely a Chicago. I'm more of a Chicagoan than motherfuckers that grew up in the city. Yeah. I know certain shortcuts. I know certain spots that niggas who live here be at, and then you know, like, this is such a massive city, so I don't blame nobody, but. You know, like, niggas don't really be around town. You got a couple of motherfuckers, like, there is a scene here, so on and so forth. But for the most part, like, niggas don't be maneuvering around this city like they me. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a Chicagoan, too.
You mentioned going back to St. Louis. Mm-hmm. And you said you went back and you DJ'd. Mm-hmm. With that said, do you have any favorite DJs in St. Louis or other people that you like to hear? Same for Chicago.
Yes, I definitely, because I'm a fan and a lover of music. So, like, I'm always listening to other motherfuckers. Sometimes I speak out about it. I talk to motherfuckers that I'm cool with about the shit or whatever. So, like, niggas know how I feel as an artist at the end of the day. But, like, hell yeah. Like, I fully enjoy listening to, like, my nigga DJ J Trey, Homicide. Back
J Trey, that nigga.
Still, yeah.
Yo, Homicide when Homicide was Homicide, you know, was that nigga.
Me and Homicide share the same birthday. We both
word.
October 11th, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, Homicide, when Homicide was Homicide, that nigga had that shit. Mm-hmm. He had the coldest sets, I feel like, in the country.
Yeah, bro. Then, like, DJ Needles. So I used to work at, I don't know if, well, you probably been to the Loop. You visited the Loop before. You know the big record store that's there?
Yeah.
I worked in that motherfucker for a couple years before I moved up here.
Right.
Venezuela, I was like the black hip hop head kid up in there or whatever. You know, it's mostly white guys.
Right.
DJ Needles though was me before me up in that spot back when he was around my age, 17. He went to WashU, so probably 17, like 22, 23 type shit or whatever. And like DJ Needles is somebody that when I was a teenager and I would listen to like the local radio and all of that shit, like that's who show I would listen to. And then when I was old enough to go out, like he ended up being like one of my OGs. And then, I was about to say Black Spade. That's kind of like an OG for me around town. And then my last one would be this guy named, his real name's Stan Chisholm. He was like my art mentor because he was older in high school. Then he ended up going to SAIC or whatever. And before I even moved here, he was one of the people that would let me stay and crash here. So I was exploring Chicago before I even moved here. So I walked into the city knowing hella niggas when I really moved up here. But yeah, he was a fine artist. He like toured the world, did all this other type shit. Then he moved to St. Louis around when I moved up here, and he started really DJing and rapping. Niggas nasty, bro. It's raw because it's like a little more artsy, but yeah, like as far as like if you into music and you can just like let this nigga take you on a journey, he'll take you there, bro.
That's real. When you say that, you said Homicide and Jay Trey, both of them my niggas. You know who my third is though?
Who?
Climate.
Yeah,
Climate,
I forgot
my nigga.
Climate. Yeah, man.
Climate, my nigga.
I mean, if I want to go OG, DJ Chris Style got a special place in my heart as well. Chris Styles like my nigga, motherfucking Sir Thorough.
I better say Sir Thorough too.
Yeah, man. Like it's certain songs that to this day, cause like I'm like obsessive about music and shit. So like it's certain songs that they DJ back then that I still take time, maybe like an hour to like look on the internet every once in a while when the song like damn it's stuck in my head again right now. So I'll probably go look for it again. But certain songs like that them niggas would play, that I want to meet them to like go through that record collection and really get those songs. So I obsess over this shit. Like I'll be an old nigga and like die and like still be thinking about this.
With
shit.
that said, I had just did this Black Mizzou like playlist or whatever, and that shit took off. But what was crazy about it, it was so many niggas trying to. It was some shit that like Homicide would just play that I just didn't know the name of.
Yeah.
Cause it's like hidden, buried St. Louis shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And like with that said, like Mob Out ain't available on no streaming service.
Yeah, bro. Oh, I got Run Up Get Done Up in my shit. I'm waiting to do that St. Louis versus Chicago party. We actually goddamn me link up because y'all the Mizzou connect. So like that's
You trying to do St. Louis versus Chicago?
Yes.
We can do it here
easily,
and
bro.
in St. Louis. There's enough niggas in Chicago to do it.
Was, bro. That's what, and there's a lot of Chicago niggas that either fuck with St. Louis and will visit, especially if it's like done well, marketed well. Niggas will go to St. Louis for a good little weekend, see their old college homies and shit
I
like
definitely
that.
do it.
Really get it popping.
With that said, there's something that's coming to St. Louis / Como soon.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you about it when we're not on the air.
Oh, okay. I'm looking forward. But like, yeah. Like I got Run Up, Get Done Up, Mob. I got a lot of that shit. Like,
Oh yeah, no, my shit.
I don't let the pussy beat me up. I beat that pussy. Beat that. Boy, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, bro.
that
Like
strong St.
it's
Louis
other
move.
like because it's niggas sometimes it's not from St. Louis. That St. Louis niggas is just like you know
Right.
like our club scene just like really picked up on this music.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Dallas, right? Big Tuck, right? Yeah. It just had the Murphy Lee shit on there that did it.
Oh, true.
But what's crazy is when you peep that shit, like, the Big Tuck version ain't even on Apple Music. I mean,
But
I'm sorry,
I
Murphy
do
Lee
have
version.
I do have the Murphy Lee version somewhere.
That
in
shit
one of my
fire.
streaming services. Yeah.
Murphy Lee made that shit. But with that said,
Oh, you asked Chicago too, right?
yeah, your Chicago ones.
I have quite a few, cause wow, that's crazy. Cause like you know we all grew up together, so like niggas like was 19 and 21.
Right.
Like Justin, just one. That's like my little bro. Like
Yeah.
the first, are you like you know about Just One and all that shit? Like they first party series that he does with his brother Josh or whatnot, and a couple of their other homies, the Heatbox series.
Yeah.
That first one they threw at my crib, my first house, my first apartment I ever had when I was living in Chicago.
Okay.
It was right off of Western and like Taylor, goddamn me.
Yeah.
Fuck my crib up, bro. It was maybe 15, 16 years old at the time. Fuck my shit up. Like a lot of like the young people that's around their age, that's like around the Chicago scene, all that shit.
Right.
They met, like I didn't realize that they were them until like we got older and we all shared memories and shit. But like a lot of them met me through like them throwing stuff over at my crib and all that shit. Justin is definitely one of them. My boy Sir Devin Hudson, I want you to get back out here, bro, because you hella raw. He a DJ from time to time, but he cold. Motherfucking Vic Lloyd is like an OG. Vic Lloyd actually was the one that was DJing when I got my first juke. It was by three girls that like three girls that still like
first
kind
juke
of
in
known
Chicago?
about like the Chicago scene and shit like that. They stacked up on me because like one was like short, another one was like my height, then the other one was like tall. So they like literally like triple stack and juked me at a mansion party off of like 45th and King, bro.
Okay.
Like 09 type shit.
Yeah.
Like wow. Like Vic Lloyd is definitely one of them. Motherfucking Dash. My boy Bang Fang. He kind of like on some other shit. Like he does a lot of production as well, but like he's hella raw. Motherfucking King Marie. When I was younger, I didn't get it, but as I've gotten older, like she's helped teach me things, and like I really, 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 really fuck with her style. And then I'm not gonna lie, Police State. Like that kid is like probably one of the dopest up and comers in the city.
Yo, so I got a hitter that's like this stashed away. So my guy, he went to Mizzou too, but he from here. Before he left for school, he had this shit on lock, and then he just kind of lost the inspiration for it. But my nigga Gene, he went by DJ Legion.
I've seen a DJ Legion around.
That motherfucker is the coldest nigga in the city to this fucking day.
So he does still DJ?
No.
Oh, fuck.
He will.
Okay,
but it has to be right.
Okay.
He hasn't DJed in Chicago probably like 7 years.
You have like an old mix, like maybe save some. You know, like sometimes a DJ nigga put out. Damn.
But with that said, though, I think he's inching back.
Okay.
Because he also used to produce. So I don't know if you remember or you heard about it when about maybe around the same time Chance popped. There was Michael DeGeneiro.
Yes.
So Mike is my guy. I talk to Mike every day.
Okay.
So Gene produced all his shit. The samples that Gene picked up, I gave Gene the samples.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So Gene hit my line the other day like, yo, I'm feeling that way I felt in 09. Empty your sample clip. So I sent him a folder on Apple Music that I've been holding on to called Gene Sample Box.
Whoa, crazy.
Because I knew he was going to ask me one day. So I sent it to him and was like, yo, go to work. Anyway, he was the DJ. He was DJing at, what was the skinny shit that we had in Chicago? Up on the north side. It was like a box.
Skinny.
No, not Lumen. It was another spot. Soiree.
Oh,
that nigga used to be in Soiree.
Wow, okay.
He used to be in all them shits. And he went to Whitney Young. He was that nigga. And like even now, like I'll text him when the album come out. And case in point, we was talking about the Tiana Taylor shit. And neither of us were really 100% fans of the Tiana album. But he told me specifically what he hated about Rose in Harlem.
Okay.
He was like Kanye was lazy as fuck with the drums.
Make them drums here.
Yeah, he was lazy.
Yeah.
He was like he relied on the bass line and the sample. He gave a quick ass.
It's R&B, so I can understand him going softer, but he should have let that shit know.
He was like that shit was smacking already. She wasn't really singing on it. She was just rolling out some bars. And shit was fire. But that nigga's special.
Okay.
Aside from him, my favorite DJs in the city. You know when Joe and them do a set, I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Like you said, Vic Lloyd got that shit.
I seen that nigga like DJ on the iPad before.
Yeah, that shit weird. I'm like, how you do this shit?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Vic. Speaking of which, Vic Lloyd is at the PBR event on fucking Sunday at Emporium in Fulton Market too.
And with the
it's the new
APA,
PBR
right?
EPA.
APA.
Yeah. Bang. Brew. What the fuck I'm talking about? EPA. Come here real quick, Jake. Just do it.
Drop it in. We got Jake coming in, the producer. He got all the bars for us.
We got to shout out Julius Torres on that one real quick. Our PBR rep.
We in there.
Yeah, I fuck with Julius. Yeah.
Excuse the Coors on the show tonight, but yeah, come out Sunday.
It's cool. We in
live streaming all day.
We got PBR too. we drink everything. But yeah, no, shout out to Mr. Torres. With that said, though, make sure y'all meet us there on Sunday.
Yes.
Quick commercial drop in there.
Damn, like this is such a big, like that I had to get out of St. Louis just to be around a bigger city. Cause like now that we talking about producers and shit, it's like so many other motherfuckers like DJ Rashad, DJ Spin, and like the Footwork and like Tech Life cats, like they super raw. RP Beat, like I've seen him. I mean RP Boo, I've seen him DJ. Couple of times, like this nigga sometimes will come up with like a drum machine and like do like live like samples and loops over his already done like songs. Like it's it's a lot of cats that's really out here killing it. Motherfucking, I went to fucking Reggie's on the Wednesday. It's like an old head duck off for real, but like I'm really into house music. Dwayne Powell plays like phenomenal house music over there. Like I really just started getting even deeper into, now that I'm DJing, like deeper into like that classic Chicago, like real house soul type of joint.
Exactly.
Shit is nasty.
That's everything you need, man. It just gives you all the shit you gotta hear.
It's gotta feel good, bro.
All right, so with that said, we gotta hop into a couple other things. You are a very busy man.
True.
You here on this Miles House podcast and the Stay Low podcast.
True.
With that said, you got your own as well.
This is
Go ahead and break down for the people what you got going with that one.
Okay, so I have a radio show. Police State is one of my favorite DJs because that is me. I am Police State, a.k.a. Champagne Wishes. I go back and forth. Police State is more like turned up.
I got to pause you for a second. Why Champagne Wishes?
That was, all right, so it's all right, I'll just break it all down, and I'll get to that. All right, so Police State is the turned up, trappy, more hype shit or whatever, like. and it's a double entendre. In one sense, on some art shit, I'm trying to like raise a certain level of consciousness to the fact that we are living in a police state. Like that's my motto. We're living in a police state. Like yeah, I'm killing it right now, but yeah, niggas is dying. Like people dying damn near every day. Like literally being killed by police. Government surveillance is real. ICE is real. Like it's a lot of shit going on that we should like be more aware about. On the other side, though, of the double entendre is the fact that I want to get shit so lit that I want the neighbors to, like, you know, call the cops and shut shit down. So that's my energy when it comes to that.
It was a legendary thing.
Then on Champagne Wishes, smoother, cooler, you know, you sipping champagne
pour
with
some in women's
wine, so on and so forth. But also it's a reference to my old blog I used to have. I got picked up by Complex and a bunch of other shit when I was younger. I used to have, like, a playlist because my blog was an infinite scroll. This was Tumblr days. And, like, it would be an infinite scroll, and I had a playlist that was ongoing at the bottom as well that I would curate. And people would legit, like, I ended up getting over 1 million individual hits over, like, the course of a couple years or whatever. But, like, people would literally go and, like, listen to the music and just, like, scroll, like, press the down button on the computer and just look at media and shit. So, like, it's kind of that vibe. Like, house, funk, soul, disco, R&B, sexy vibes is something that's, like, well, at least it's not ignorant jump all over the charts. It's like find somebody to dance with and love somebody type shit. Yeah. So that's like
get a blue chew.
Yeah, and I'm a Libra and I'm really big on like that balance. So and like my radio show feels like both of them, but I go by Police State on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like Do Right Radio, that's on Mild Sauce Radio. About 5, 6-ish. Just kind of depends on when we actually, you know, recharge our batteries and everything. But it's set up to kind of be like that end of the afternoon Saturday vibe to transition to the pregame before you go out. So it usually starts out smooth. Maybe you just finished shopping at the mall or chilling with your shorty. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. And I'll actually be doing a live recording very soon where we'll be inviting people out. Kind of, you know, like expanding a little bit more because I want to actually be like a happy hour vibe provider on the weekends, and like it's on a Saturday, so yeah, like, you know, after you getting fresh, getting your line up, maybe chilling with your shorty, you get home, start smoking, sipping, play the game, get fresh and head out. So I'm like that type of like vibe on my radio show. And then I also do a podcast on Sundays with my partners over at Grade A Living, called The Guide to Grade A Living, where we discuss, you know, art, culture. We do get into like pop culture, things like that, sports, of course. Shit like that'll come up in conversation. But like we do an event called Happy Food Hour as well, which will be live streaming from Mild Sauce.
So before we hop into the Happy Food Hour, let us know about you guys that you work with.
Oh, Rob and Kingsley. So the three of us, we all work or have worked in hospitality. Grade A Living started off, damn, that was probably 5-6 years ago. We started off just, you know, like me and my boy Kingsley, we threw a dope-ass party called the Dirty Dub, which is kind of like legendary on some like house party shit. Like certain people around town like know about the party because like the shit packed out, it sold out, tickets, all that shit before we even, before the day of or whatever. But it got shut down because not everybody was old enough to really be up in the spot. And we ended up taking it to West Loop, doing a crazy ill-ass house party after that, like legendary type shit. And then from there, we started just throwing parties. And that eventually led to it being like an online platform, interviews, so on and so forth. And now we've evolved into like a real media type of situation where we have the podcast where, like I said, we talk about art, culture, society, all other type of shit up on there. But we also review restaurants and talk about food, fine dining, nightlife, you know, like real lifestyle shit or whatever. And that's kind of what the Guide to Grade A Living is about. We just started a restaurant review series called Grade A Grub on YouTube. Grade A Grub. Like, so yeah, that's kind of like, that's our angle. Like, we about eating good, drinking good, living well.
All right, so with that said, if you had to throw out 5 restaurants that somebody who's listening now in Chicago need to go try, what you picking?
Whew. I'll be honest, like on some real St. Louis shit, I'm like a nigga. Like, I do like to stick to what I like, but I be everywhere. Crisp is one. Korean fried chicken. That's around like Lincoln Park. They've been.
Is that kind of like right off? It's on Division.
Damn, I don't even know. I be Ubering there, bro, and I be on my phone. Yeah, but it's like it's near the beach. I want to say it's around like
I know what you're talking about.
Brown. No, it's not Brown Line Diversity-ish. I don't know, but it's like it's a little bit north of Fullerton, but not too much past. Like, not above. I want to say maybe Wrigleyville, somewhere over in that little pocket. But Korean fried chicken, super flame. I ain't never had it before then, but yeah, they got me converted. I'm in the code.
Right.
Au Cheval on the burger tip is
okay.
really
So do you like small cheval?
I do.
You think it's a difference?
And the quality of, well, I don't know, because that'd be my thing sometimes with these restaurants. Like, by design, they're supposed to entice all of your senses at once.
Right.
And honestly, I think if I was to eat both of the burgers next to each other, Au Cheval would be like only maybe a smidget better.
So it's,
and that
it's
might
close
be,
enough.
like, might just because I don't get everything that I get on the Au Cheval burger. Like, I do the actual burger with the egg on it,
Okay.
the pork belly,
So,
so on and
so
so
for
forth.
someone like,
I got a $40 cheeseburger last week.
From Au Cheval?
No, from like my friend took me to some place.
$40.
He told me it was gonna cost as much. Got a burger
It's-
and a drink. Shit was
Bro.
like $50.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, all right, so when I first went to Au Cheval, this was maybe 2-3 years ago. Like a couple months, like when it got warm after they won the award for best burger in the world.
right.
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go try it out. First of all, I didn't know that the 2-3 hour like wait was already a thing back then.
That's
But
a
I
real
had
thing.
that. And I was like, I was biking around town. I was like, I did the wait. Yeah, I know. So it's next level, bro.
So
like,
that's for me. So for me with burgers, I don't really have to have eggs. I ain't gotta have pickles. I ain't gotta have all the extra shit. For me, a good burger is cheese and bacon.
that's real. That's
so
real.
I go to small cheval and it ain't no weights.
That's real. Okay, so I fuck with the convenience of that, but you've gone to the actual restaurant though as well.
Au cheval?
Yeah,
Never been there.
You got like no, it's really one of those burgers that you got to try. You got to try
Okay.
it with the egg on it, bro.
See, that's not gonna
You
happen.
gotta- why
I'm a
not?
very picky eater.
I did not like it, but I was like tipsy. That's a good way for me to learn how to like try new foods. Like if you can get
So
me
wait for
drunk,
when you're drunk?
yeah,
Okay.
like I was closed minded to sushi because you know it's sushi raw.
Yeah, like,
I'm
you
like,
ain't tryna fuck with
yeah,
that, yeah.
exactly. Nigga, I had that shit drunk one time. So fucking good. Like so many foods I've tried this way. That particular day, because with the weight, it's a couple bars on the strip right there.
Right.
So you go get drunk by the time you come. Like, bro, get the burger that made them the best burger in the world. Like, do that for yourself.
Okay.
That fried egg, like the quality of the beef, the pickle that they use or whatever, because like they got their own little thing going. So like it is like certain direct flavors that you're gonna get from their specific
So
burger.
with that said, you got crisp, you got Au cheval. What's your other three?
My favorite barbecue spot is gonna be Smoke. It's up north off Irving Park, Blue
Okay.
Line. Up there.
I
But
got a hood
dude,
barbecue spot I like a lot.
I do like the hood. It's a couple
I
of
like
hood spots
Limbs
that I fuck.
on fucking 75th.
I have not had that yet.
Oh, it's
You
in
gotta,
the middle of the
send me-
hood,
send me that
right across the
information.
street, right across the street from a liquor store, and they put your shit in like this tray, and the sauce is dripping so hard it leaks through the bag.
Yeah. That's the type of like spot that I would go to back at the crib.
Okay, so you got smoke. What else? You got two more.
Au Cheval, Strings, my favorite ramen spot. I'm just going through my faves right now. And damn, a really, really, really good spot would be, fuck it. I used to work there. I was the maitre d' over there, but City Mouse. City Mouse is a really good spot.
Okay.
Or you can go to the real one that got the Michelin star, which is Giant up in Logan Square. But yeah, like,
Got it.
those are really, really good.
All right, so before we wrap up, what I want to hop into now is you were talking about your event that you got coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know how the event started, the background of it, how people can find out about it.
Okay. Happy Food Hour. It like lingers. The best way to stay up on everything is to follow us on Twitter or Instagram.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. Well, shit.
Go
Damn
ahead,
right.
go ahead. I'm just fucking with you.
Damn right. Grade A Living. That's GR. It's all spelled out properly. So Grade A, the letter, and Living.
I'm surprised that wasn't taken already.
I'm nice when it comes to this copywriting shit, bro.
Okay,
like
cool. I'm gonna need you
names,
real.
slogans, all this
So
shit
look,
is,
so
like,
look,
real.
so somebody has Sean Grant, and I
Mhm.
got to keep doing Sean X Grant.
Mhm.
We need you to get him the fuck out the paint for me.
That might. Yeah. We working on a legit mild sauce one right now. Sometimes it's hard, but that's where you got to get a little clever. Like, it was a friend that like called me Marsalis one time up here, and I just threw the hefner on the end because I like that. I'm into jazz, so like I heard Marsalis, like went Marsalis Brothers, like, oh cool, man, that's how I got one, and the other one is like Do Right Design. That's my company, like. Do Right Mars, I got a business with the person.
Fair enough.
And yeah, like that shit just whenever you get that role, cause like maybe your thing is spelling your name differently, spelling another language.
Right.
Like branding yourself is probably a better way than like getting your legit joint.
Fair
Low
enough.
key.
So with that said, then you said you got the Grade A Living. That's where they could find you at. So back to how the event rolls.
Oh, yeah. Happy Food Hour. It is essentially a happy hour and a social event, but it's centered around food as opposed to wine being at the forefront. We always curate a different menu. We get a chef friend to, like, make the food, sometimes live. Sometimes, you know, we make it just early that day and, like, take it to the kitchen, just depending on time restrictions and what we have. But we do it at, like, a bunch of unique DIY type of spaces. Art galleries, lofts in Pilsen, working on a rooftop one. The next one is going to be like an RSVP, like insider type of thing or whatever, like a real smaller friends and family one. But whenever we do them, like for public, it's like it sells out. You pay your ticket and you eat and drink as much as you want until the food run out. I'm typically the DJ or my boy Rob. We've had other friends DJ from time to time, but like the space and just like that interaction. And we take time to actually kind of curate our invites. So we never really blasted it just yet. We'll post it and promote it a little bit, but we send it out to like people at a time. And it just works that, you know, like niggas is down to throw a little bread to eat, drink, and have a good time. But I'm talking anybody from tech to the art world. You can meet at our shit.
All right, so now I got 2 more questions before we hit our end road. The first one was on the last one. What was on the menu?
Damn, our last one, I want to say we did what was it? It was like I want to say it was like a jerk type of concept that we did. Yeah. So we did like fried plantains, jerk chicken. We had... Ask a Caribbean motherfucker, man. I got hip on this like a couple months ago. It's not plantains. A lot of people think it is. They pronounce it like how there's a T-A-I-N in mountain. It's plantain, like that. If you talk to a real Caribbean motherfucker, like I've been checked a couple of times. I think maybe around the country motherfuckers might pronounce it a certain way, but like I'm talking to like Trinidad, Tobago, real Wagwan, Jamaican, Rastafari motherfucker. Plantains. Why you call them that? I bet, but like they also, you know, not black, so I don't know. I mean, right, they're Afro-Cuban, but like, I'm talking to like them real.
So you did the jerk shit.
Yeah. So there was like a jerk concept, and we actually did jollof rice. Right. So fuck with like our West Indian homies, and we had like beef patties, shit like that. This next one is going to be Vietnamese thing. Okay. So it's going to be like pho, centered around pho. We're actually going to be fucking with our friend. His Instagram name is like on Phonem, but on Phonem, so PHO or whatever. He's been doing some dope pop-ups and like he's maneuvering his way around the city. I wish him the best, and I hope that he is. He's looking for a space, I think, to actually open up a real brick and mortar. Okay. I can tell from the way he talks. Like he ain't said it just yet, but I'm wishing that for him. Yeah. But we've had a tasting. We were gonna have one today, but we're gonna do it in like another day or two. But like he's really good at it. I had some good pho before, like authentic shit. Like he really learned. He really like talked to the right people. Really like a real chef, all that type of stuff. He's gonna like break it down. It's the first time we really have it where like the chefs break it down, because usually we'll describe it in the menu or say it ourselves. Like it's gonna be a little more intimate, smaller, you know, like very direct and intentional this time around.
So then the last part I want to get to you, and then we're gonna wrap up. Mm-hmm. If a chef wants to be a part of your event, how do they get into it?
Damn, a chef. That's love. Well, once again, follow us on Grade A Living. Or you can reach out to me. We all have, like, our roles. I tend to be kind of more, like, brand strategist type shit with it. And I do, like, some of the social media. So, like, I probably would end up being, like, one of the main people. But, like this particular chef, my boy Kingsley, like, chose and shit like that. So, like, we all play a role up in it. But yeah, like I'm probably like a good go-to guy to just reach out to me. Like, let me know what you thinking of. Cause like we pay, but it's still very much so like underground. So, like we don't have the big budget, but like we're really trying to do like one of those like underground, like foodie New York Times article type joints.
Where everybody can't get in type
shit. And it's coming together. So like it's always been a good look for everybody that's involved, and we really want to like ramp that up. But I'm Marsalis Hefner, MARSALIS HEFNER. Reach out to me on Twitter. Do Right Mars on Instagram. That's spelled out properly. The verb, and then the motherfucking planets, you know. And just fuck with me. I'm a friend to everybody. I'm a friend in weed, so I'm a friend indeed.
Exactly.
I'm high. I get lit, and you know I'm a nice person. So as long as you're not an asshole, I'm gonna fuck around and listen to what you got to say. So yeah, just don't be an asshole.
There we go. We got my man Mars who popped in today.
Make sure you follow him everywhere.
Anytime, buddy. What we were also talking about was blending his podcast and our podcast when we get L's and be back. to do one, big one.
Like,
so you got to bring in
epic
two. I
mashup.
bring in two people. We do a mashup.
We
do some
definitely
good
gonna-
shit, and the shit'll be busting. We're gonna
Yeah.
get together on that so y'all can get used to that
Yeah.
too. But make sure that you follow him right now with all his moves on Do Right Mars. For me, I am Sean X Grant. I don't really have shit else coming up that I need to plug right now.
Damn,
But
I
for
was
the
doing a lot
niggas,
of plugs.
other than Sunday, with the
Emporium,
yeah, at
Emporium,
the
the
Emporium,
PBR,
with the
new
PBR
brew.
shit, and it's the APA event.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Aside from that, you said Just Jay's debut?
Oh, yeah,
shit.
Joe, Just Jay, yeah. His
Okay,
DJ
that's
name
lit.
is Just Jay, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
Bro, I
fire.
was just talking about that. I'm happy for him, man. This shit's gonna be kind of lit. It's his first time DJing. He's like Jake's DJ on Jake's podcast.
Okay,
So like
okay.
he plays the music there, and then like he does a bunch of other like music
Bet,
stuff around
bet.
with us as well. But yeah, this is his first like public
I'm stepping
like
out into the
gig.
spotlight.
So that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a
Dope,
good one. He said he
dope,
got
dope.
some interesting ideas.
Y'all got an
too,
Instagram
so.
for him?
Damn.
Whose man is that?
Damn, that is it.
There we go.
I always get that. Yeah, all right, cool.
And
I
then
get
on
it. I
top
get
of
it
that,
mixed up sometimes.
For all of the people who, tuning in because Mars is Mr. St. Louis in the Chicago city, make sure that you pull up on me at the end of July at the Show Me Kicks Expo. That's July
Yes,
the
do that.
29th, 28th or 29th, whichever that is, a Saturday. I can't remember right now. 28th or 29th at the old post office. Y'all know where that's at. We rented that shit out.
Damn.
That shit is fire.
I
It's the
just-
second year in a row we rented that
20
shit out.
28,
And we in
29.
there and we doing it. Shout out to Champ. Shout out to Dev.
Bang.
And everybody else with that
I
said. It's
might
a
have
Stay
to
Low
go to that and
podcast.
do a back-to-back
Come on, man. Pull on down.
Because my high school actually do it like it's his first time. They just sent out the flyer like a day or two ago. They're doing like a
reunion?
3-class reunion
Oh, yeah,
pool
pull up.
party thing.
Oh, pull up.
So I
I'm
might
gonna
fuck
go
around
to your
and
high
do
school
that,
for
yeah.
that moment.
All right, y'all. We out this
And
motherfucker.
shout out to B and Els who will be back for the next episode.
Oh, yeah, it would've been
and
a
we may
pleasure.
have a secret episode popping up. I got to talk with Jake to see how we can make it work. Somebody's in town for a tour, and they hit us up and want to pop in because they heard we the coldest shit in Chicago.
Oh.
With that said, we outta here.
It's kind of hot, baby.